You got it, Nat?
Welcome, everybody, to Twitch Tuesday now on Wednesday, now back on Tuesday, now on YouTube, still on Twitch. That is Dylan. I was not prepared for this intro. I was not expecting me to go live right as soon as I hop in, but how are you, Dylan?
I don't know.
Yeah?
How are you now? Yeah.
You know, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Had a long day, but, you know, it's always fun ending the day here.
Yeah,
I heard you were, you got a lot going on?
A lot going on. It's life. It's death. It's life after death, which could be the name of the show right now.
That is very accurate. It could be life after death. Yep. I'm gonna tweet that we're live. I just noticed that what the show is doing their stream where Mike Deacon watches Dune. So that's like a lot of our audience.
Yeah, they're gonna be all over there today. Shame about it. We're just talking about the other sci-fi property, Andor, today. So
yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna put their stream on our stream.
Yeah, just put it in there. We'll just have it muted, but you know, it'll keep us feeling good. Yeah. Ideally, they'll see it and then they'll stream us streaming them.
I would love that streamception.
I would love that, but I don't want to tell them. I want them to organically figure it out.
I'm sure they will. Someone in our chat will let them know.
Yeah. Also, I just can't get my hair looking good today. I don't know what it is.
So, I don't know if you saw the title of the show is called Twitch Tuesday is Love is Blind Andor the Better Show, which is a very interesting topic I would love to get to. Let me just pull up the stream real quick.
This fucking guy came in.
I gotta fucking tell you about this season of Love is Blind. Let me tell you what.
All right.
It's a good one.
Put it on the list for things I need to watch. I still haven't watched a single Oscar movie. I'm very disappointed in myself.
You watched Past Lives. And what else have you watched?
Barbie and Oppenheimer. That's it. I have not watched one since the double feature.
Am I not subscribed to What the Show? What the heck?
You're not subscribed to What's the Show? Wow.
That's crazy. Let's go.
Let
me grab that link.
Hold on. Yeah, get into it and then subscribe. Maybe it'll show you subscribing live.
Okay, I can't do that yet because I don't have the YouTube muted yet, so it's gonna actually no, I can notch your audio.
You can just notch it. You can bring it down.
Okay.
Here, do you want to send me the link? I can stream it. My internet tends to be.
I don't have the link. I'm looking for the link.
Oh, why? Well, how do you know that this is going on right now?
Because I followed him on Twitter.
Okay, so if you go to Mike Deacon's thing on Twitter, then it should just be like we go to Mikey D, YouTube, What the Show.
I got it.
No, I'm already there. Hold on. All right. So, share screen. Took me 5 seconds now.
You know what? It does make sense that you're sharing the screen. You have better net. So I'm going to tweet that we're live because I have not done that yet.
Yeah, do that. And then we'll see the chat live over here.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
you just follow along with their chat.
Yeah. We got Harold over there. Crazy.
I'm telling you, that's all our audience is Tim and Smithy.
I know. Also, I'm not subscribed to What's the Show.
I guess I am subscribed to What's the Show. I just saw them pop up.
Are you actually? Because I was going to say, if both of us subscribe, we get them to 200.
Oh, no. Yeah, I already subscribed.
Well, I'm not going to get them to 199. That's just not worth the trouble.
That's not it. It's not worth it.
So let's wait. Oh, I thought it went to 199. I was getting crazy. So first of all, let's talk. Love is Blind, but you can't do a spoiler because I haven't seen a single episode of this new season.
I can't spoil it. Do you care about Love is Blind? I thought you didn't care.
No, Love is Blind is the one season I watched. Remember?
Yeah, you watched one season. I didn't know you were. Did you finish Love is Blind? That season you watched?
I finished that season.
Really?
Yeah, watched the reunion and everything, and that's when they.
Did you watch last season?
No, I didn't watch last season.
You don't have to. It's a whole thing. I can spoil last season because it's not worth watching.
Last season. What was last season's beef?
So we only followed 2 couples all the way to the altar because one couple, they apparently there was this big thing where he like sexually assaulted her, and they can't air that obviously, so they just removed them entirely from everything. We don't even know who they are. Oh, What the Show, my favorite YouTube channel. That's great. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate you. Yeah, they just scrapped them entirely. Another couple, they filmed all the way to the altar where she said no, but they didn't show us because apparently there was also some abuse. So they were like, we're not showing this, even though we have. So they filmed them with the group, so they had to like cut around them, like they were in the background and everything. Another couple, the guy, when he saw her, he was like, he got really quiet, and he didn't talk to her at all. So it was just like one-sided conversations. And then he was like, I don't like the way you have all this makeup on. Like, you like better natural. And then it got into a big fight. Like, it wasn't about the makeup. It was just because he wasn't attracted to her. But so they broke up early, and then we just followed 2 couples the entire way. So they had to fill out airtime with just the 2 couples. And that's the whole season. They did 10 episodes of that.
Yeah.
You know, it was not a fun time. This season's a lot better, I will say.
Yeah, this season you and Kelsey were popping off about it. So
yeah, we didn't pop up about last season because she canceled Netflix, so we didn't watch it at the same time. She just watched it.
Yeah, sure.
So you actually know some of like the big plot points of this season. So I will spoil one interaction.
Hold on, they pointed out my comment, and now I'm curious if they're going to tune into us tuning into them. Hold on.
When ants get infected with like the zombie virus that they.
No, we don't want to get copyrighted. Anyways, so you were saying.
Yeah. So one girl, they're not supposed to talk about what they look like, obviously, because the whole point of the show is Love is Blind, that they can't see each other.
Right.
This girl was like, "Hey, do you get any like? Oh, you look like so and so celebrity." And he was like, "Yeah, I get some. Who do you get?" And she was like, I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend, but MGK's." It's like, and he was like, "You're saying you look like Megan Fox?" And spoiler alert, she does not look like Megan Fox.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so. Like,
can you pull the picture of her real quick?
You know what? I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna pull up a cast photo, and you have to guess which one is the
Okay.
Girl.
Okay.
All right. So some people are saying that she does kind of look like Megan Fox. I don't see it. It's like mostly in the eyes and the hair. But even so, it's like, hang on. Okay, I can't get like a full cast picture, so I'm just gonna pull up a Google search of like them individually.
Okay.
All right. So is it this one?
It's number 4. I'll tell you right now. It's number 4.
It's number 4. Which was number 4?
Wait, go back out. Like, no, exit out that the bigger version of the picture. Move where your mouse just was. Yeah, that one. It's her.
So it's not her.
Okay, well, she's the closest one that looks like Megan Fox, and that's not saying a lot.
Yeah. There's also her. I don't know who this is. Oh, this is Brittany.
Brittany kind of a
obviously
baddie.
Not. She what?
Brittany kind of a baddie.
She's kind of a baddie.
Yeah. Which one is it? Oh my God, no! She seems like somebody who would make that comment. It's her. She's the one who said it.
It's 100% her. Yeah. She's like,
yeah.
I think it's just the eyes and the hair. I got blue eyes and dark hair. I was like, okay, like Dev Patel has black hair and brown eyes. I don't look like Dev
Yeah,
Patel.
we don't look like Dev Patel. Yeah, that's for sure. I have dark hair and light eyes. I don't look like Megan Fox, so I'm saying.
So that was the whole thing.
Okay, so has there been any like during the pods? Was there any like what's my favorite guy from season 1? The Asian guy with the eye drops. Has there been any moments like that?
Oh, that wasn't season 1. That was season 4. It's Andrew.
Andrew, yeah. Wait, that was season 4?
That was season 4. Yeah.
That's crazy. I've only watched season 4 of this show so far.
You watched season 4, yeah.
And they're on season 6 now or 7?
They're on season 6.
Okay, that makes sense. What a ride. So there's not been anybody like Andrew. There's no total sociopaths or anything like that.
You know what? Not to the level of Andrew, but there is someone similar in like demeanor. Well, not demeanor. I wouldn't say demeanor. I'm not a therapist. I can't get into like the sociopath, psychopath thing. Yeah. But there is someone who has tendencies.
And it's the juice.
It's the juice.
Yeah. I mean, look at them.
I wonder how far along they are in this movie because they started like 2 hours ago. So they got like an hour left.
Yeah, this is now 2 hours. Yeah, so they got about an hour left. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to force my grieving wife to go watch Dune Part 2 because, man, this movie's getting some banger reviews.
It really is.
Yeah. I heard Zendaya even shows up in this movie.
I know, it's crazy, right? Imagine showing a trailer that featured prominently imagine showing an actress who's featured prominently in the trailer in the actual movie. That's crazy.
Right. How progressive this Deli Valley New guy is. Yeah. Deli Valley New is definitely what I'm going to start calling him from now on. By the way.
That's it. That's his name. I heard Christopher Walken isn't in this movie as much as people like. He's like the Zendaya of Dune 2.
I kind of hate that. Hate that.
So, apparently Florence Pugh was in it a lot though, so that's good.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, Florence Pugh is great. So let's talk. Tell me, let's talk about Andor.
Yo, what the fuck? Where's Danny for this? Because I'm gonna catch up on Andor. Yeah,
he was right here. I don't know where he is now. He might have left.
He's watching the show. I sent him the link and everything. Yeah, Andor. I binged Andor after I watched Love Is Blind. I was like, there's nothing else to watch. Just Andor.
That's true.
So I followed your advice and I rewatched episode 5, and then I watched onward to the whole series.
Yes.
It's fine. It's no Obi-Wan. It's it's
the fuck up. It's no Obi-Wan. It's definitely better than Obi-Wan.
Okay, it is better than Obi-Wan. I will say, I didn't love it as much as it was hyped up to be, which I wasn't expecting me to like it as much because I know myself and I feel like
I was never expecting you to love it. I needed you to like it though. I needed you to see that this is like pretty fucking good, and that for you to like it as somebody who's not super deep into Star Wars.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think you need to be super deep into Star Wars to like Andor. Right. I will say it's probably my favorite of the Star Wars shows, and I really, really like Mandalorian season 1.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I liked it quite a bit. I really like the whole like prison arc, Andy Serkis and everything. I thought that was really well done.
All right, we got to talk about the prison arc because the prison arc is, I think, like peak show.
Yeah, would you say that's the best part of the season?
Yeah, no question. I think the prison arc, like from start to finish, is the most surreal, scary, dystopian, true relative to our life, like part of the show. Because you have this person, like let's start here. Andor gets randomly selected and arrested, and gets effectively sent to prison for work. And if that's not critique of our American culture, first of all, I don't know what is. But so for that to happen and to feel very human by nature, even within our culture, I mean, it's not that bad, but it's also not that bad. So for him to go to jail, and I don't know about you. Tell me you didn't have an oh shit moment when they finally got word. It was just like they fried a whole floor of people because they fucked up. Like,
yeah,
tell me that you don't get invested into the stakes of that arc. Like, you're not like, oh shit, that's like real.
Well, once you learn like this isn't like punishment. It's just like you're here forever. Like this is your life now. You can't get out. It was just like this is fucking real. This is like you're absolutely right. This is a commentary of like the American justice system, where even if you serve your time and you get out, there's not a lot waiting for you on the outside. You just like it's just a cycle where you're put back in.
No,
and that's perfect allegory for it.
I genuinely got chills from that episode in specific, where it was like they fried the whole floor because they didn't know any better, and then they had to put down what's his face, the old worker guy, which hits a lot harder.
Shout out to that guy.
Hits really hard when you have a dad who just passed away from a stroke. So that episode hit much different as a whole. But Circus going along and just being like, we have 10 men upstairs. This. And then the next episode with No Way Out. Like, I will say this. As they're about to be, like, as they're doing the big breakout scene, which is, like, pretty good, As they're doing the whole big breakout. And they start to be like creeping up, and then they see like they're about to dive into water, and Circus hesitates. As somebody who can't swim, I knew immediately. I was like, "Oh my fucking god, he can't swim, can he?" And as soon as you see the look in his eyes, and he's like, "What are you doing? Go!" And he's like, "I can't swim," and he says it. Now I like no cap, I bawled, because that was so relatably heartbreaking to find to feel like you got placed in that journey, in that place, in that position, and go through all the journey that he goes through, and he can't leave. Tell me that doesn't just hit on like fuck, dude. Like
that single moment was my favorite of the entire show.
It's the best.
And I didn't know you couldn't swim either. I can't swim either. Shout out to people who can't swim. But no,
there's an air stereotype that we can't swim as a whole too. Like
I don't know if that's a stereotype because
I've heard
Asian
that
people are usually. Really?
I've heard.
I thought
maybe
it was
it's more of a Filipino stereotype or any of the Islander ones, but it's always heard a stereotype that it's like Pacific Islanders.
But that doesn't make sense because like Asian people are around water a lot, so it's like we should know how to swim.
No, right, we should, but the running gag is that we can't swim, which is why we can't get off the fucking islands in the first place. That's why that's why we just built the whole culture there.
Yeah, I haven't heard that stereotype. I think that may be a new one. But no, it's that moment really hit hard. And it like looking back, it made his other decisions make more sense because he was like very hesitant to help him out. He was very much like just do your work and you'll get out eventually. But like that moment made me realize, he knew he was not making it out from the start. Like he was just doing this to help all the other prisoners, and that moment hit hard.
You can like Andy Serkis steals it with that arc. Like he really does.
Yeah, I was like, it's just too bad Andy Serkis is only just going to be on this one TV show. But I feel like that's enough for him. Like he made such a big impact on the few episodes that he was on that it doesn't even matter.
He put in 200% for like that 3 to 4 episode arc that he had. Yeah.
Yeah. It was incredible. Another thing I really liked about Andor was that there was so much gray area. Like no characters were like strictly good. No characters were like, strictly bad. They humanized the bad guys, and they also made like Luthen. He's on the side of good, but he's doing all these shitty fucking things. Like he's like, how are you going to categorize this character? Is he a hero or he's a villain? And I couldn't. He's like chaotic good kind of, but also chaotic neutral. He's on the right side, but he's fucking shit up. He's making some really really shitty decisions.
He sacrificed like a whole crew. He sacrificed what's his face crew because they couldn't let them know that
Krieger.
Krieger's crew. All the Saw Gerrera scenes I think are really, really good. Him and Saw are like I could watch so much of them just interacting and their paranoia and their politics.
I love Saw Gerrera just popping up in random things that I'm not expecting him to at all. I did not know he was in Andor. I was like, what the fuck? It's just like that moment in Jedi Fallen Order or it's just Saw Gerrera just popped up. I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
And that's when I stopped playing the game.
Yep. So there's, like Luthen as in general, and Luthen's speech, I think is like, I don't think it's too ham-fisted. I think like there are some people who feel like it's a little too Hollywoody, but I think it's spot on. Like I really think that like how he described, like that's his whole character. He's like, okay, let me tell you what this is. I will die for this cause to never even see it succeed. Like that's how invested I am into it. And that whole poetic speech he gives.
My gosh, that entire speech was just magic. It's so good.
And as good as Luthen is, man, the ISBs have never seemed more competent. The Empire has never seemed more scary and more real. And this show does it better than any other piece of Star Wars. They are fucking scary. Like it's like, man, they're methodical. These are like real scary people, and you're kind of like in it for the ride. You're in it in the same way you get into like factions in Game of Thrones, right? You're like, man, the ISB and this one general guy who's telling what's her face to be like, yeah, make sure to be careful. Like you're on the right track, but watch yourself. Like that little like internal politics game within that is like such an interesting part of the show. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It was super interesting because like usually as a casual Star Wars fan, like I watch the movies and the competent bad guys are like the big ones, like Darth Vader or whatever the fuck.
It's pretty much Vader, Tarkin, and the Emperor, and that's pretty much it for competent villains. Like,
and that's it. But
even into the new era, right? It's still just Palpatine at the beginning. Like,
right, it's just Palpatine, and that's it. But like to see lower members of the Empire, like people who work for the Empire or whatever, to see them actually being competent and threatening, that's like you don't see that too much. So I really appreciate seeing that.
Right, just supporting the brothers. We saw Mike was watching Dune. We love Dune, so
that's their whole audience is in that chat right there.
Yeah, so it's the only way we can keep our chat right now. Harold is over there. It's mostly just Harold, actually. That's our chat. So
I think Smithy was there earlier, but he's gone now. He's not here though.
Yeah,
so
Smithy's taking a break. Yeah. Also, Mon Mothma is a real character in the Star Wars verse now. You know, all the Star Wars geeks talk all about Mon Mothma all the time.
Love Mon.
Oh, Mon Mothma. Oh, she's so that.
Oh shit, Smithy's here.
I'm still here now, guapo. Yeah, welcome, Smithy. Everybody talks about Mon Mothma like with these deep cut Star Wars nerds, right? And like as a deep cut Star Wars nerd, but not of that level, I'm like, Mon's okay. You still need to talk about upcoming No Chill if you're not scared. No, I'm scared. Anyway, so you know, we have that going on, and to see her have a whole through line and actual story and seeing politics in the Senate actually like, and the funding and the scary part of it. This is just a show that I didn't know I wanted in a lot of ways, which is hilarious because I was like, whenever this got announced, I was like, why? This isn't a show I want. And then I watched the show and I was like, this is a show of a bunch of stuff I didn't know I wanted from the Star Wars universe and the tone that I wanted it. I mean, right from episode 1, right? Which is a fucking killer start to the series. It's him at the bar with those two dudes, and then they have that whole killing scene, and it was like, fuck, where was this during Rogue One? Like, you know? And you probably don't remember that because you didn't go all the way back to episode 1 for the rewatch, but like the first,
I remember not being like my balls blown up by episode 1. Like, this is okay, but I don't see what all the hype is about. Right.
Yeah, but then you got to where you got, right? And more importantly, can we talk about how alarmingly attractive Biggs is? I think her name is Biggs. Like,
oh my gosh. I mean, Adria Arjona. Just, amazing.
Is it just me now, or is she distractingly attractive?
She is the only good thing about Morbius. Just her. She's very beautiful.
No, she's excellent both in her role and being a snack, and the camera loved her, and good for her. Again, in the first episode, they had her like in like an underwear shot, and I'm just like, all right, Star Wars, you knew what you were doing.
No, I don't remember that. I gotta go back.
Yeah, it might be worth going back to that first episode. Rewatched it, huh? No. No, but other than that, I just think it's a show that does so much with it. This has like I remember I rewatched it recently from like episode 4 onwards, and I was like, okay. And I remember like the bank heist being like okay, but definitely a step up from the first little mini arc from the first 3 episodes or 4 episodes or whatever. But when I watched it the second time, hearing again, like I still think that banger line that they even knew and they made it a show title, it was just like, the axe forgets, but the tree remembers, or tree remembers, but the axe forgets.
Yeah.
Talk about a line that just kind of encompasses the whole show, right? Like,
right. I mean, yeah, this show's just like chock full of like great lines. So you mentioned Bix. I think a moment that also really hit me was, I think it was the last episode, where he rescues her and she's like taking off and she's like, she doesn't know what's going on. She's like all like, she's like messed up in the torture.
Yeah.
Right. And she was like he'll come back, and Andor looks back and he's like, what is she talking about? She's like, Cassian's gonna come back. Yeah. And it was like, oh, like, yes, I will. That was such a great moment that made me so hyped for season 2. Like, I'm in this now. I'm gonna watch season 2 week by week.
Andor's pretty good. You got to give it that. Andor's pretty good. Darina's live right now. She's way better than these guys.
What's everyone live right now? This is Tuesday's day.
What? It's been Twitch Tuesday for like 30 years. All right, fine. Well, you heard it, Smithy. Let me get Darina. What's Darina's stream?
Get Darina's stream.
I'm just typing in Darina. What is Darina's?
If your stream is happening on our stream, that means it's just all respect. Like, we respect love the show, and we respect Darina. And that's what we're doing. We will never have Jeff and Bud.
Listen, I'll say it like this. Darina's great, but only What's the Show has had both of us on their channel. It's on Mixcloud.
That's true. At the same time.
Oh, fucking no wonder I can't put it on. I'm putting them back. What's the Show? The boys deserve it. Mike's watching Dune, and he doesn't want to, which is crazy because Dune's good. So, yeah, anyway, I think I've gushed about Andor enough, except for the one thing that absolutely still drives me crazy to think about. So you remember, oh gosh, it's the main ISB woman that we're following the whole time, whose name I'm forgetting.
Oh, fuck, what's her name?
Yeah.
Dirna or Myrna or something?
Yeah, Myrna, yeah. For the record, who is insanely good at acting. Like her scene with Biggs where she's like, her facial expressions, the little micro ticks on that one. Bro, yeah. I don't know if you were paying attention, but her insane acting ability there. But like
Miro.
Yeah. So when her life starts to get threatened, or no, it's not even her. It's the girlfriend to Val. But Val goes off and she's about to get murdered by that ISB agent. And she fucking turns around with a knife and stabs him, like with a dagger. And I just kept thinking, Cinta. And I just kept thinking, how fucking crazy is it that you live in the Star Wars universe and you got shanked in a fucking alley? Like,
I know.
There's something about that just feels so extra brutal, right? I'm watching CTA, watching you, watching Dune, but also watching you. Harold, good job, buddy.
Thanks, Harold. We'll count on you.
You know what, Heart? This is, if people want to know what Inception is like, it's just this. What Harold says, thank you. In our chat.
What are we doing here? This is great. I love this.
I love it. This is
so I can't believe we didn't talk about fucking Cousin in this show, aka The Thing. he's so good in this. Like when so you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, you're talking about the smooth hair guy with the mom, right?
Smooth hair guy with the mom.
Yeah. Wait, which one are we talking about?
I'm talking about the guy from The Bear who like tells Andor we should like just leave these two and take the money for ourselves. From the heist thing.
Oh no, yeah, the guy who says the tree members, but the axe forget line. Yeah, that one.
Right. I keep forgetting his name. I know his name's Ivan, but he's like phenomenal. That moment hit. I realized like, oh, there aren't. This story isn't about good guys versus bad guys. These are just people trying to get by, and people who are doing what is best for them. So that moment really hit hard for me. Like he he was a character that I was like super invested in. I was like, what's his motivation? Like, why is he here? And to find out that everything he told Cassian was a lie about how his brother was killed by stormtroopers or whatever the fuck he was.
The brothers flooded the farm, and then his brother committed suicide.
Right. It was just like, what a moment.
Yeah, the writing on this show is really fucking insane. Like the plot points and everything are good.
You're talking me into it. Like, this is a good show.
This is a good fucking show, man. That's what. Yes, thank you, Smithy. Ebon Mossbar. Yes. But yeah, it like the writing on the show is fucking phenomenal. The performances are all really good. There's not a bad performance in the show. Like I'm genuinely trying to think. And nobody feels like it's bad. Nobody feels like it's corny.
Yeah.
They never betray the tone of the show. The tone is always taken at serious value.
And oh my god, the mom. I don't know who plays her, but like, amazing job.
Yeah.
That scene with her and Cassian when he leaves is just like, this is so good.
It is like when Andor is leaving, and you can feel that that urge for her to just sit there and not like want to chase after him because she knows that this is her cause and this is her place, and she knows that if she goes, that he won't learn the lesson she's trying to teach him, to the point where she will die for it. Merva, yeah, that's her name. Yeah,
Merva. It's so good.
I will say the only thing that felt it was a banger when it hit, but it felt a little corny on the second watch was her big like hologram speech at the end.
You didn't like that?
I really liked it the first time. I was a little less hot on it the second time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what she says is absolutely spot on, like a banger. I just think that like the scene itself, I was listening to the music more, I was able to absorb it more, and I didn't feel as invested the second time.
Yeah. I liked it, but I've only seen it the one time.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't like it as much on the second one.
Just don't watch that one clip again. Let it live in your head rent free as like being banger. Something we actually characters we haven't talked about that I think are also still really insanely good is there's the security agent guy that's obsessed with Andor and then starts chasing after the ISB woman the entire time.
Yes, he was really good.
He was great. He's got very, very pretty eyes, but he's got a face that makes me like wonder. I'm like, is he attractive or is he very strange looking? I can't figure out which.
There's this thing going around the zeitgeist of like it's the time for like white dudes who look kind of weird but are also like strangely hot. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Saltburn guy. What's his name? Barry Keoghan.
Yeah,
and Jeremy Allen White.
That's not surprising at all. Yeah. Also, Andor has Mon Mothma, the big math. What did he say? Big math thing? Oh, the big moth thing from Godzilla with hands on it. Smithy, You're killing it, buddy. You're killing it.
As someone who's not a huge Star Wars fan, I don't remember Mon Mothma at all. Like I know I've heard her name, but like I was like, what else has she been in? And she's like been in a bunch of stuff. I was like, I don't remember this woman at all.
She's always she's a major minor character in the Star Wars verse before this moment, right? Like let's put it like this, right? She is always like, now that we see like who she is relative to like what she's doing for the cause. Later, she's like just in this white gown in the background during these big rebellion meetings at bases. And that's when you see her. And she's like loosely in charge. Like you can tell that like even to like compared to Leia, it looks like she'll pull rank over Leia, which says something, right? Like so she's always kind of loosely there. Like people who don't pay attention to Star Wars probably put Mon Mothma and Tarkin in the same vein, or it's like, who the fuck is Tarkin? It's like he's one of the Imperial generals, he's the leader, you know, he's a pretty scary and important guy, and they're like, yeah, I probably recognize him if I see him, but it's not really like, you know, Mon Mothma is kind of that for the rebellion, you know.
I don't know who Tarkin is. Like,
perfect.
Who is that? I don't know him.
Grand Moff Tarkin is like, I mean, not in lore, but in the movie, he is like one of the main antagonists of Rogue One. You've got one of the Moffs, like they're one of the guys like chasing around like the whole time. Ben Mickelson or whatever, he's like chasing the Rogue One crew around, and then you got Tarkin, who's like in charge of putting together the Death Star and stuff like that. But he's like the He's like the general that's like under Vader, effectively, right? So
Okay,
yeah,
that kind of rings a bell a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was planning on doing my full Star Wars watch through. White guys who look weird are also kind of hot. Okay, I'm on my way. Jake, you don't look that weird.
no,
You look like a, you have like kind of that look.
yeah.
You know,
Smithy
it was not a weird look.
points out Tarkin in the first Star Wars movie, he's Vader's boss. Like he's effectively like, yeah, like he's the military. He technically outranks Vader, but the idea of bossing Vader around feels very strange in general with it. But yeah.
Yeah, this does not ring a bell. I don't remember anyone being Vader's boss.
You're like,
so I was planning on doing a Star Wars watch through of the entire franchise, and this was months ago where I watched A New Hope, and then I just never came back. I was gonna watch someday.
You stopped right before Empire Strikes Back. Everybody that's everybody's favorite, and it's good.
It's not everybody's favorite, you know.
You should cherry pick it. You should just pick like your favorite movie out of each trilogy and just watch that. So it should be like, for the record, it should be episode 3 because that movie is the best one. Just watch like episode 3 and then watch Empire Strikes Back, and then you should go watch. I couldn't tell you what if Force Awakens or The Last Jedi is preferred for you, but which one is it?
You don't know which one I like best of the 3. The answer is going to shock you.
I know it's sure as shit is not The Rise of Skywalker. Let's start there.
You know what? If I'm being honest, I don't remember. So let's go to my Letterboxd and find out.
Okay, let's see where you ranked it. All right, I'm gonna place my bets and say that it's gonna be my gut says The Last Jedi, so I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna go with my gut.
Oh, okay. I do remember that I was not as low on The Rise of Skywalker as everyone else was. But that's because I'm not like fully invested in the lore and everything. I just saw Pretty Lights and I was like, oh, this is a good movie.
Yeah, you watched it as like an anime viewer, right? You were like, I'm here for the action and the lights, and they were there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see how I rank it if I ever get through this whole watch through of the entire series, because I gotta watch the Clone Wars and everything. And it's a lot. So who knows if I'm ever gonna get to the.
If you're watching all Star Wars, buddy, you're gonna be there for a while.
It's gonna be a while. I can't find my Star Wars rankings. When was the last Star Wars thing to come out? It was Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker was the last movie.
We're gonna find it. I'm search by.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shouldn't you be able to search by movie title? Just be able to pull up Last Jedi, Force Awakens, and Rise of Skywalker.
Well, I have a list made, so it should be clear, like which is on top of which. Oh shit! I don't have a list made.
You don't.
Okay, so I never ranked Star Wars. That is crazy. All right, well, I'm just gonna share my screen and look up the individual movies then. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
So The Force Awakens. I gave this movie I did not rate this movie. This is going great. I love that.
I love it. This is the kind of content that people tune in for whenever they watch us.
So I'm gonna rate it right now. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Force Awakens, hot take. I don't care if it's beat for beat New Hope. It's fucking great. I love Force Awakens.
It is fucking great. It's really good. That one might be my number one. Who knows? Let's see.
I wouldn't even be mad. I think a lot of people get mad at him. Fuck him. Force Awakens. You're like
Last Jedi 3 out of 5.
Oh, you rated this one 3 out of 5. Yikes! I knew I should have trusted.
That doesn't sound right. 3 out of 5. That was 7 years ago. So who knows?
Yeah, maybe your tastes are different now. All right, Rise of Skywalker. And Jerry says
it's gonna be higher. I know it is.
There's
3 out of 5.
There's no way you gave this movie a 5. Get the fuck out.
Give it a 4.
So you would put. So you're telling me, at a glance, you would put Rise of Skywalker over Last Jedi?
As it stands right now, yes.
Okay.
But I've only watched both movies once,
Sure.
and Last Jedi was a long time ago. So
Yes.
my feelings probably have changed. Will change once I watch them again.
Sure, but you definitely double down on saying that The Force Awakens is your favorite of the trilogy.
It's my favorite right now. I don't know if it's
Sure.
gonna stay that way.
I think it'll stay that way. I genuinely think it'll
so?
stay that way. Yeah, because it's the best of the three. People who say otherwise, like, listen, I'm not going to say that the Last Jedi is pretty contentious among Star Wars fans now. I don't know if you know this, but and it
I
does
had no idea. I'd never heard of it.
It does a lot of new interesting things, and I think it should get appreciated for that. However, Force Awakens, I mean, sometimes you just know what you like. It gave us a lot of what we liked, and I don't hate it for that, you know? So
Yeah.
It was a great setup for an otherwise disappointing ending, but Rogue One is the favorite of the trilogy. I don't hate it. Rogue One's great.
Rogue One is really good. I'm actually looking at my rating for Rogue One right now. So I gave Rogue One. I did not rate Rogue One. So
You didn't rate
this was back before. This was back before I rated my movies. I just watched them and liked them.
Wow.
2016.
Love it.
I'm gonna give Rogue One a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I figured it's gonna be a 4 out of 5.
Maybe 3.5 out of 5.
Wow, 3.5.
3.5 is pretty good.
Rogue One, I think, is
honestly,
gonna.
I give most movies 3.5.
I think Rogue One is going to be one of these movies that gets better the more Andor we get. And I know we're only getting one more season, but I think like Andor is really going to make Rogue One really be solidified as like this like very good movie with more back lore and drops.
Yeah. Honestly, Rogue One is up there for me with like the Man of Steel's, where I really love the trailer and the movie just wasn't up to that standard, so I rated it lower because of that.
Yeah.
But if you take away all of that, it is a really good movie.
Yeah, no, it's great. All right. So, without further ado, Nat, is Love or Blind, or Love is Blind, or Andor the better show?
If speaking objectively, Love is Blind is a much better show. That's just how it goes. if I'm being completely honest, clearly Andor is the better show.
Yes.
But which one did I enjoy watching more?
Yeah, that's the question.
It's Love is Blind.
Yep. What the show? Oh, it says show.
Oh, are they done with the movie? Has it been 4 hours?
I think so. $250, and Mike will see part 2. I don't got that money, Mike. Sorry, I just need you to go watch it. Okay.
Yeah, just go watch it. So
Yeah.
I did count up the hours of what I'm supposed to watch. So counting Andor and when I eventually finish Sandman, that is roughly 19 hours.
Yeah.
So I added up the 2 Star Wars movies, and it comes out not 1 second more, not 1 second less than 4 hours. I'm gonna need the link.
Now I got him. Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
So it comes out to 4 hours exactly. I think the first Top Gun was 110 minutes. The Top Gun Maverick was 130 minutes.
I was supposed to say Top Gun Maverick was long.
Yeah. So by that math, I gotta get you to watch something roughly 15 hours. So I'm gonna be thinking about that while I watch Sandman.
Whoa, you've got to take off one season of Love is Blind because I did that whole live stream for you, though.
I didn't make you watch that. That was your choice.
Yes, you did. You said go watch
that
it.
Was before the deal.
Not only did I watch it, I watched it, got hammered, and made one of our better contents with him.
That was on you. I didn't. I never said, "Hey, Dylan, you should watch Love Is Blind."
Hey, man, no, you and Kelsey. I will pull up the receipts. You and Kelsey both were like, you should absolutely watch it, and then you should scream your reaction to it.
I watched a couple episodes of Bleach. You should take that away from.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I don't care if you watch Bleach now, although you're missing out. But
is it good, the new episode?
The 1,000-Year Blood War arc? Yeah, dude, it's fucking insane. But you need to know what's going on in the series for you to appreciate what's going on now.
Well, I watched the first episode.
You're going to need a little more than that, buddy.
It's a lot of episodes, man. I don't know how you anime people do it. Like, it's so much content.
Well, we started when we were like 16, 15, 14, 13. So let's start there. And then we just kind of kept on trucking along.
Yeah, I started when I was a child. I don't remember exactly when. Whenever Dragon Ball Budokai came out. That was a while ago.
That would have been 2000 and anywhere from between.
No, hang on. If we're counting the first ever anime, it's probably Pokemon.
Probably, yeah. Pokemon's banger.
I was like 5.
Yeah. It's crazy. I sent Mike Deacon the link, and I don't see Mike Deacon. Weird. Let me go to Twitter again. Just make sure he got that. Maybe it's the technology. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't get links. Oh, I sent it to the wrong mic. No wonder.
You sent it to the wrong mic?
No, I'm kidding. I mean, he just got done streaming, so also it should have been whiskey. It's nobody's surprised. Everybody voted whiskey on that. I guess in the meantime, we're gonna review my Twitter.
Let's look at your Twitter.
Yeah, let's look at my Twitter. All these cards are functionally cool and stupid pretty. So here's some full art cards from the new set of Final Fantasy. We got the Migo. All right. Everybody loves Cat.
Is this not Naruto? This
is
Sakura from Naruto.
That's correct. And you got Corilla, right? Who's that from? Not important. Then you got Lulu. Look at this fucking sick art.
Oh, this is Yennefer from The Witcher.
Yep, you got it. I love Gwent. What else is going on?
Seriously, is that not Sakura from Naruto?
That is.
It looks just like her.
No, it really looks like Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all in one person.
You're right. I can see a little bit of all of them.
Wither brother. It is both Naruto and Sakura and Sasuke at the same time. It's amazing. This is my friend Elizabeth's post on Twitter. This is actually most of what my Twitter is.
Yeah, your Twitter's a lot different from mine.
Yeah, that's fair. Hit up that link at 8.
Great edition of I Got Something to Say. Today, 8 o'clock Pacific on KSFS Radio. It is Larry Solomon Week. He'll be back. We'll be talking.
Oh, he's talking sports. Ferris, I love you. I don't tune in for that, though. Using only one food, where are you from? Okay, Kelsey said.
Kelsey says a bunch of Utah food. Is Jello a Utah thing?
I don't know. Oh, did you hear about this? So Capcom Cup recently finished, right? That's like the major Street Fighter 6 tournament. Mm-hmm. Like they had their whole tournament run. So you want to hear things get real spicy? We need to get rid of this banner real quick.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
forgot that was
Uma won, right? He's this player that came literally what feels like for a lot of people out of nowhere. Total underdog story. Came in, got qualified for Capcom Cup from Taiwan. The only and sole Taiwan representative in this tournament. And his finishing opponent, I want to get Mike's reaction to this too. Mike, so this guy goes into this Capcom tournament. This is like the fucking Super Bowl of Street Fighter, right? Goes in. His opponent, he's from Taiwan. His opponent from Hong Kong. And the Taiwan player won.
Oh.
Love to see an underdog story.
Yeah, damn.
It was sick.
By the way,
Mike, everybody.
Yes. Welcome. Hey, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
I might have shared the link with 2 other people.
Oh,
no, it's fine. This is bring them on.
Yeah, that's fine. We will.
We might be invading.
Invading? How can you invade? You already invaded our channel when we started streaming your stuff.
We got open borders, Mike. Everyone's welcome.
Oh, right.
Oh, you know that the call to action and what the show is the same show.
It's the same show. Yeah, I was about to say.
Same fucking show.
We literally have.
So we had your stream on our screen, so we didn't have the audio on or anything. How do you feel about Dune right now?
Yeah.
Pretty similar to the way I did originally. It's not really a movie, it's a preamble. Like nothing fucking happens in the first 2 hours of that movie.
It's still pretty good though, right?
No. I hate that movie. I hate that movie so much. And it's funny. So like I know so many people who've already seen 2. Like a lot of people I know have seen 2 already.
Right.
And they're all saying it's like the Empire Strikes Back of the Dune franchise.
Right.
And Empire Strikes Back is like top 5 movies of all time for me. I'm like, you're really saying this? Like, you know.
Some say it's even better than Empire Strikes Back. Like, have you seen that?
Which is like its Rotten Tomatoes score, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a 98, which is
probably
absurd.
Sounds about right.
Absolutely absurd. And Bethany wants to see it. I'm like, oh, I really don't want to go see this movie because it's so fucking long, and I hated the first one. But
send Bethany up to Kentucky. I'll watch it with her. I can't drag Hannah. Hannah wants to watch it. She's just got a lot going on right now. So I'll watch it with Bethany to hold us both over. We'll stay off the shakes, and then I'll send her back to Florida, and then you guys can watch.
We're in Georgia now. I don't know if you knew that.
We're in Georgia now. I didn't know that. Oh yeah, even closer.
We're in Savannah, so.
Oh God, yeah, Savannah's lovely too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like today was absolutely fucking gorgeous in Savannah. Like
it was shitty here. It was so cloudy and gross in Bowling Green.
We were in like the high 60s. Like it was like 67 and clear, and it was gorgeous today.
That was our weather yesterday. I'm so jealous. You just got what we had. So
yeah.
Which means your tomorrow's gonna suck then because it's cloudy and dreary all day.
They said tomorrow's gonna be like 80.
Oh fuck you! How dare you get spring or /summer early in Georgia of all places?
Yeah, but we've been in Savannah, Georgia for just over a year now, and we've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, no, Savannah's a good. Savannah's a super chill vibe too. Like, you have a little bit of the chaos bleeding out from Atlanta, which is fine, but you know, it's like
it's not even close to the chaos of Atlanta.
No, it's not. You don't see a car chase at every 5 minutes. You know.
I can honestly say, like, we went to the only time I've been to Atlanta was the Schmodown in Atlanta. And
was there? That's crazy.
So
that is not crazy. Only I don't know that at all.
Yeah.
Your typical Atlanta traffic, like Atlanta's like top 10, 15 worst traffic in the country.
Yeah, that traffic is rough. Yeah.
It was also the Olympic marathon trial. That weekend we were there. So there were road closures everywhere.
Yeah.
So the already bad traffic, everybody was getting rerouted, and it was rough. Like our Uber from our Airbnb to the event should have taken about 5 to 10 minutes, and it took us like 45 because of
Jesus. I believe it. No, the one time I've been to Atlanta, I would 100% believe you. If anything makes that traffic worse, it would just feel like hell. William Harold says, "What's the Schmodown?" It is the only thing that me and Nat have ever been famous for.
You made a speech. I always hold that over Yakovetta's head. Like, did you get to make an acceptance speech? No, Dylan did.
Dylan made, and listen,
Dylan did, and Paul in his Ed Harris shirt that one year.
Yeah, exactly. Paul at least got time to be able to write a speech. I was told seconds before going up on stage, "You're doing the speech." So, all things considered, I think I did okay.
No, you did wonderful. Like I don't remember that. You did fantastic.
It was all. Every time everybody brings up that speech, I'm like, I cannot express how autopilot I was. I disappeared. Whatever character I brought out to do that speech, I was like, all right, cool. That's what we're doing. And then I always, every time I get a chance to rewatch it, I'm like, I talked about Roka too much. I didn't introduce any of these people. All I can see is the flaws, right? So for however good it is, it's not great to me. So.
Yeah, but everyone does that. You never look at the good parts. You always like, oh, I could have done this better.
Right.
No, you killed it. You actually did a really good job of that.
That being said, relative to a lot of speakers on there, I think that if it's relative and in the comparison of award-winning speeches, I think we're a top fiver. Like,
we're not trying to put anyone down, but yours was probably one of the.
No, I'm not saying anybody else's is so bad. I'm
especially
just saying,
for a speech that you didn't prepare or anything, you were just like thrown up there. I thought you did a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
I agree.
You were like Pedro Pascal winning a SAG award, bro. That's like the best compliment I've maybe ever had in my life, and I will remember it for always because, as men, we don't get compliments in our life. Cheers to men, everybody.
I know. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, men remember every compliment we've ever gotten, so that is definitely one that you would remember.
A girl I dated one time once told me I had really pretty eyelashes, and I swear to God, man,
This one girl in high school said my butt looked really good in my slim straight jeans, and I've only worn those jeans my entire life.
it's true. I've never seen you not wearing those unless
Yeah.
you're
But it's funny you mentioned the eyelashes thing. Like Bethany says that to me all the time. She's like, "I'm so jealous of your eyelashes." Like that's one of the things. Like
Yeah.
I would never even think to look at that.
No, but that, to be fair, that's women in that show, right? Like, women are always looking at much different things than men are. So for them to point out something that they themselves envy, that's a compliment, you know?
Absolutely. So I was gonna bring up, like, have you two been to any like the recent movies in theaters lately?
Yeah, I've seen pretty much everything.
Nat has, I probably haven't. So
I think I'm also an A-list subscriber, so I do try to go as often as I can.
So like nothing I've seen that has come out past, like I've caught up on some movies that came out like technically last year, but like nothing that has come out this year has been great.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. It's been a pretty dry season of movies. So my number one of the year so far is Lisa Frankenstein, and
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. So it's like that's the best for now. Like,
actually, Nat, that's like pretty much exactly how I felt about it. Like, that movie is totally, except that it's like not something I'm saying you got to rush out and see. But if you do watch it, you're gonna have fun with it. Like it's a
good time. It's not like
if it comes up on in the background and you have nothing else going on, just let it rock, and you're gonna probably have a great time.
Yeah, it's an airplane movie.
Yeah, that's totally fair. It was a fun movie. It knew what it was. It went for it. You know, it's not a masterpiece by any stretch, but it was an enjoyable watch. Argyle, though, for me was like Argyle was amazingly bad. Like Argyle,
it's actually a really good start for like bad movies of the year.
Yeah,
like you have Argyle, you have Madam Web, which I need to get into. Madam Web was so atrocious.
I haven't seen it yet.
It might be the worst movie I've ever seen. I don't go out of my way to watch bad movies, but like it's up there.
I'm so hot about this. I don't know how a movie with Sydney Sweeney and the Dakota, what's her face, can be that bad. Yeah,
Adam Scott.
Yeah,
it's a good cast.
That's another one. Like Anyone But You was like one I caught up on, and this year that I didn't see last year, and like I saw that and was like, this is like so inoffensive to a fault, and like I saw I saw everything that was gonna happen like 10 minutes before it happened. So I'm like, just like, I mean, this movie is totally fine, but like I never need to see this again. Like
I've only seen clips from that movie, and I refuse to actually watch anything further. So,
it's
if you watch the movie, you're going to be ahead of the movie and what's going to happen.
Yeah. Which what actually made a lot of sense if that's how you felt watching Madam Web, right? Because if you're supposed to be in on the future telling of it all, I think that would be an amazing like. You know how eventually you're going to get the satire pieces like about Madam Web and like either this year or already or like in 10 years from now, where it's like Madam Web actually is an amazing film. And here's why you didn't understand it. You know how those are going to be creeping out. I think that's it. That's the argument you make. You're like,
I feel like we're not going to get that with Madam Web. I feel like it's
you don't think so?
I think it's universally agreed upon. It's a bad movie.
So what is for the two of you, like what's your number one most anticipated of the currently announced slate of movies?
This year, I'm hard pressed not to say Dune 2 off the cuff, not to just throw it in your face more. Like, let me look at 2024 movie list right quick.
I am gonna go Deadpool 3 for me.
Deadpool 3, my number 2. My number one's Furiosa. I can't wait for Furiosa. I think that's gonna be such a fun movie. It's Miller coming back to direct. Anya Taylor-Joy is like, I think is a perfect recast for the younger version of the character. If this movie is even half as batshit insane as Fury Road was, sign me the fuck up. Like,
you know what? Here's my hot take. I need it to be about half as intense as Fury Road because Fury Road's great. On rewatch with Fury Road, here's my beef with it. It is all pedal to the metal, which is like part of its strength on the first watch. But on rewatch, it's exhausting. I'm tired by the time I'm watching it the second time through because it's just so much gas. Like
There's almost no plot to that movie too. It's just like we're just going, we're
going.
gutting it. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just.
So I've actually never seen Fury Road, but I'm planning on watching all the Mad Max movies before Furiosa. I saw the first.
I want to watch Fury Road with you.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I want to see you react to Fury Road because
everything about me knows that I'm gonna love this movie because Tom Hardy's like top 2 actors for me, and it's like I'm a big fan of the original Mad Max as well. So I'm very curious to see how they pull out because I heard it's amazing. So I can't wait to see it.
Like,
Nat, do we even consider getting excited about Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire after watching minus zero?
So like I still have the excitement of it's Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, it's still dumb fun. Like,
but the thing is, like, even the last movie, like the verse, I didn't like as much as like Skull Island. I thought was actually of the recent.
Hell yeah, Mike.
Yeah,
Skull Island was my favorite.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, the last one again. I'm never gonna discredit a movie like this unless it's like really like even the Emmerich Godzilla, which is terrible.
Terribly fun is what the Emmerich Godzilla is.
I can watch that right now and have a good time with it. Yeah.
Yes.
But like Godzilla versus Kong was somewhat forgettable to me, which
is pretty impressive when you're talking about 2 giant monsters fighting.
Yeah.
And it's like, with my caveman brain, why is this movie not just like playing in my head rent free, right? Like, yeah.
Like the way minus zero is like it's rent free in my mind. I remember really liking Godzilla versus Kong, but if you asked me to like tell you the plot, I couldn't do it right now. Like I don't remember the movie at all.
No, I remember Millie Bobby Brown was in it too much. That's probably indicative of the whole like American.
Was she in that movie or was she in?
She was in both. She was in Kong and
she was in both.
Yeah, because there's one point where she's at like a radio tower and it's all falling around her by like the late point of the show because she's doing some broadcast for some reason. Yeah, that may like strike a bell. So I will say, I'm already forgetting. Is it minus zero? It's
minus one. It's minus one.
Okay, I was like, that sounds wrong. -1, which sounds just as wrong as anything else as well. Just really reminded us how good fucking Godzilla movies can be. So it's a little hard to go back into the Americana Godzilla Kongs because it's just like, man, we had real plot and actual story that mattered.
So the thing with like the original Godzilla movies, like, you know, if you go to the very original ones, you know, that's where Godzilla is the monster. But then Godzilla, like, some of those movies are so fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Like, Godzilla versus Megalon is one of my favorite bad movies of all time. That's the one with Jet Jaguar. Which has the infamous dropkick sequence. Oh, it's so absurdly bad that it is wildly entertaining.
But you know what? Not forgettable.
No,
which is better than most bad, right? Like, here's the thing. I will forgive bad for being unforgettably ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, to answer your question earlier, though, because I found the movie I was thinking about that I was forgetting. A Quiet Place Day 1 is probably
okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
That was probably Wolverine doing it right there, though. Yeah, but Quiet Place, I love that franchise. That franchise is.
This is one thing that we don't have a lot in common when it comes to movies, but like A Quiet Place is like mind villains. like one of our favorite horror movies.
We will shill that franchise into the ground because it's excellent. So
it's so good.
Yeah.
I think for me, like I said, Furiosa, I think is my one. I'm gonna be at Ghostbusters. Unfortunately, I have to go to a bachelor party that weekend, so I'm not gonna see it like opening night or anything.
Yeah,
but Ghostbusters is way up there for me. And then Deadpool, 100%. I'm on page with that one as being way up there. I'll see that opening Thursday. But that's the issue is like aside from the ones I just mentioned.
What else is really coming out this year, right? Like,
so we our fantasy football league and What the Show, we do our draft order based on box office. We draw movies instead of numbers and stuff, and then whatever the box office is gets you your spots.
Right.
We're like there's 14 people in the league. Whoever has spots 14, 13, 12, and 11 are going to have movies that make less than 20 million because there's just nothing coming out this year.
Yeah, 2024 is a very dead year for cinema, other than like 4 or 5 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, most of them, I mean, again, and let's go ahead and make this argument. How many of these movies are franchises or spin-offs or things like that, right? So
almost all of them.
Every single one of them, right?
Like The Fall Guy, I think, is going to be a top 5 movie this year, but that's a remake. Like,
right.
It's not an original concept.
There's a Beetlejuice sequel. I think it's supposed to come out this year as well.
September, so it's not technically a summer movie.
Yeah, so it all comes back into saying that it's just like we're locked in for fans. There really isn't much in the way. 2024, I think, will be a really interesting year for movies. As a video game player, our plate is full. The buffet is stacked this year, and it was something I didn't realize until me and Nat did fantasy draft recently, and it was like, all right, me and Nat, before we started doing the research, we're both all like, I don't know if we'll be able to fill our rosters. We feel like we're going to have some jank. And then when we drafted, I'm like, I could do 2 more spots, to be honest. Like,
yeah, we really could. We definitely could add more spots.
Yeah.
So I think like next year, I think we could start a thing where the winner gets to enact like a few new rules.
Yeah.
I think we should expand the roster spot.
Yeah, I think it's funny you're not enacting that for this year's, even though this year's is going to be the closest fantasy league.
If you want to do it this year, I'm down because I feel like it's going to be pretty close.
Let's
see how well Final Fantasy is doing.
Yeah, you know what? I'll let you have your moment because I already knew. Let me pull it up, Mike. You tell us what you think. All right, I want your opinions on our content as always.
Let's do it.
So let me pull up the fantasy league real quick. I just want you to read through it.
Are you a big video game guy?
Yeah.
All right.
So
comeback season games is me, and from soft to extremely hard.
Extremely hard on the champ.
Okay.
So you can guess who won last season.
I won't point out who. But so this is the lineup right now. It goes the whole premise is that anything above 70 is points, right? Anything below 70 is negative points.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
Everything above 90 is double points.
Yeah. Is that true?
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No.
That's how you won last season. Well, part of how you won.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, so then this will be 46 points by the time it settles?
Yeah.
So fuck, since when is that a rule? That's crazy.
That's always been a rule. What do you mean?
Pull up the old fantasy creeks. But anyways, so we got a bunch of games that don't really matter, but here's what Nat got. Nat got game of the year, which feels wildly unfair. I'm banking money that Black Myth Wukong is going to be something gas, like it's just Journey to the West, the video game.
Gotcha.
I'm solidly in the middle. I think Dawn Trail is going to sneak in, and Nat doesn't know what's going to hit him with that. But a lot of it is franchise stuff, right? Now, my favorite part of this is always counter picks. So, my counter picks on him was this franchise that's not Persona, but is going to try to market itself like a Persona-like game. And then
so how counter picks work, Mike, is like you have to pick a game that your opponent drafted, and whatever points they score, that's how many points you lose.
Yes.
Okay.
So, if let's say Stalker 2 is like an 85 and they score 15 points, I'm negative 15. It's a big swing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Stellar Blade, Nat keeps trying to downplay. Ass sells money. And I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it. I will show the trailer for it. And then we're going to show a trailer for Stalker 2. And I want you to purely make your decision on which league is winning based on these 2 trailers.
Based on them? Okay.
Yes.
That's not really fair. Like, they got a war going on in the Ukraine, all right? They don't got that.
They've got a war going on in the Ukraine. No. All right. So let's go. Let me pull it up real quick. So Stellar Blade. I'm not going to play the whole trailer because there's like a whole 7-minute trailer gameplay thing. We don't got time for that.
Oh, yeah, that's long.
Listen, you're going to see parts of it, and then that's all you're going to need to see.
I mean, it just looks mid. Just whatever.
It does not look mid. You fucking know it. Hold on. You fucking know it. I'm going to make points on it.
Stalker 2 game of the year.
Stalker 2 is so fucking shit, bro. We can't play audio, otherwise we will get immediately obliterated. But all right, right there. That's all you need to see. That's the gameplay. That's what you're going to be looking at the entire time. Looks beautiful. All right. So far, we're simping. It's story. Now, you notice the camera angles. There's a lot of jiggle already. I don't know if you saw that. Let me throw that back real quick. There's just natural jiggle across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you some actual gameplay. All right. Yeah, we're fighting monsters. We're fighting tech monsters, and we're a pretty woman, and we don't care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at this. This just looks fun. That's dopamine. You got sick dodges. You're
Generic as
changing
fuck.
outfits. There's a new outfit every scene. Watch this. Look, she was wearing
Oh,
a
she
green
got a
outfit.
hoodie on now.
Yeah, she had a hoodie on. It's sick, bro. I can't wait to dress her up. Low key, one of my favorite things in video games. Dress your waifus up. Look at that outfit. Now she's a schoolgirl. Anyways, so that's Nat's kind of pick on me. Let me pull up Stalker.
That's your man. That's your man right there.
That's my man. And I'm gonna pull up Nat's Stalker 2. And I want your completely unbiased.
Keep in mind this trailer was from like 2 years ago.
No, this is in fact the most recent trailer. Let's quit pretending. Made in Ukraine during the war. All right, so we're creeping out of a tunnel. It's a first-person survival shooter. Look, you can tell because there's a gun and it's in first person. You have this slow, kind of grindy look. That reload took like 5 years.
It's setting the tone.
You've got these weird little like sci-fi, what feels like almost Annihilation things, and I'm like intrigued, right? It's got a little bit of that Resident Evil vibe, how it's kind of going right now.
Is this the trailer with the guy?
Oh, it's the trailer with the guy. Hold on, real quick. That man kicked the dog, and if we learn anything about John Wick, also look how good this dog looks. Hold on, look at that's. I know it's a little pixelated, but that's the dog. All right, now hear me out, Mike. Where's your man? I need to find him.
There it is.
I need to find this man. It is nearby. Hold on. It's like right around here. There's so much dog killing. Oh yeah. There it was. Hold on. Where's the? I know you can take it down by like frames. Let me just actively. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Do you see that, man? That's man. That's man right there.
Sold. 10 out of 10.
Who's winning Fantasy League, Mike? I need to know. That's Nat's man. I'm banking it all on waifu ass.
That guy right there is the hero.
I want to know if you can. You know what, Nat? If you can play as this guy, I'll retract my counter pick. If you can play as this guy right here.
I don't want you to retract your counter pick. I want you to.
No, you're like, I want the points. Yeah, that's just a sneak peek. Make sure to go watch all of our content talking about Fantasy League stuff. It was a good time.
It was fun.
Anyways, yeah, so video games on a great spot. Movies not so great.
I feel like that's the case most years though, where like my most anticipated is like usually franchise movies, and I never see like the big hype around what ends up being my number one movie of the year. Like my number one movie of the year last year was Past Lives, and I was not hyped for that movie at all. So I don't know. I still have hope that this might not be a terrible year, but it's not starting off too great.
Past Lives didn't play anywhere near me because I'm in Savannah now, so
right.
it's not like when I was in Orlando where we had the Megaplex at Disney Springs where I could see anything.
Yeah.
I when it hits streaming, I definitely do want because I've heard from so many people about Past Lives, like saying like it was phenomenal, fantastic.
That's okay.
Dylan, what was your number one last year?
Fucking hate you.
My number one last year. What was my number one last year? I'm gut feeling says Oppenheimer to really be a sellout show because that movie's great. But I know I'm forgetting something. What?
I think it was Oppenheimer for you.
I think it really was. And to be fair, it's just a right answer. Like that's just like it's fucking great. But that being said, I have not gotten a chance to run back the Oscar like all the Best Picture noms or whatever. So my answer could vary between then and there. But Oppenheimer was pretty fucking good.
Which ones have you seen?
It's so far it's only been Oppenheimer, Barbie, and Past Lives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I always go on a binge run right before the Oscars. So like ask me in 2 weeks and I'll have like a very diverse opinion.
Of the Oscar noms, of the ones I've seen, I have not seen all of them.
Right.
Holdovers is my favorite. I love
Holdovers.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the Holdovers. My favorite movie of last year was Air.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Air never got talked
Air's up
about.
there.
How do you feel like total snub as far as that stuff goes? Because I feel the market
Zero nominations. So yes, 100% total snub. Viola Davis should have gotten nominated for Best Supporting at the very least.
Right. The movie's trailers look like a movie that I'm like, this movie actually looks like it's going to be really solid, but the trailer doesn't feel like the trailer did a fine job. I guess I would say that, right? It didn't make it feel like it was going to be great, but it did make it was going to feel like it was going to be good, right? Like,
it's definitely way better than the trailers.
Yeah, it gave me Ford versus Ferrari vibes, where I'm like, this is going to be just interesting enough for me to want to watch it, but I think it's going to be better than how they're cutting it.
And then the thing is that movie is 100% carried by its cast.
Right.
Like, if you had other people in those roles, I don't think it would have worked as well. But the casting directors on Air did such a phenomenal job. Matt Damon is great. Chris Tucker is phenomenal. Jason Bateman's phenomenal. Viola Davis should have gotten nominated. Like
incredible.
And so, like when we did our year-end rankings on what the show, I did mine differently this year, and I think it's how I'm going to do it from now on. I was like, what movie am I most likely to want to rewatch?
That's a good way to scale it.
Yeah. My barometer for how I did everything, and that's why I came to Air at number 1.
Right.
Air was 1, Holdovers was 2. Still, the Michael J. Fox documentary was my number 3. I actually, though, I just 3 days ago saw Blackberry.
Blackberry's so good.
It's on Hulu. It just hit Hulu. That's why I finally saw it.
Yeah.
That would be my top 3 right now. If I had seen it last year, it would have been
last year. Blackberry's. Yeah, I loved it. Glenn Howerton absolutely crushes that role with it.
Another snub. He should have been nominated for Best Supporting.
I actually 100% agree. I think that one just
so good.
I genuinely think it's like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has cursed him as an actor because it feels like there really is like a bias against him. They're like, you got to succeed in television for being like the longest running comedy of all time. You know, like we're not going to give you any like movie awards, even though he fucking deserved it. He was great.
He was so good in that movie. Like you felt everything he did in that movie, which I watched that movie, like, you know, and you know, we're all of the proper age that we know about the story of BlackBerry. Like, all know what BlackBerry was,
we lived it,
why it failed, and everything.
Right.
And watching his reactions, and Jay Baruchel too, to not discredit him, like played his role very well in that. But like when the shit hit the fan, Glenn Howerton was so good.
Yeah. So a movie that didn't come out last year, but it might have actually come out last year. Let me double check on this one. Did that one drop? Let me check real quick. Because it actually might be 2022. All right, but I watched it last year in 2023. Talk about movies that went wildly under the radar that have no right being as good as it is. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
So many people have said the same thing.
It's annoyingly good. It is annoyingly good. Like
I have not seen. That's actually one I need to watch because, you are far from the first person that
I'm sure. I'm typically 7 movie reviews behind from like our. First of all, it's the curse of being Schmodown and Schmodown related. That part of our lives and now our Twitter and social media will always make us movie stops now because we're just
same. I get that, and that's so far from what all of us, like even the people who are on the show, have evolved into. There's very, very few people who, whether it be the fan community, the reactors, or anybody who is that has been their only avenue since then.
We're so I would say unnecessarily plugged into like movie news now because of the nature of it, that it's just by the time I'm like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, it's like, Dawn, people have been saying Puss in Boots: The Last Wish has been great for like 6 months now. And I'm like, listen, motherfuckers, I finally got around to watching it. And I'm still ahead of most like mainstream media. So let me start there. Right. Like
that's something that like, I don't think a lot of people really understand. Like for people like us who are, you know, we're dialed in.
Yeah, we are.
When you talk to just your average person on the street, they're like, "What's Oppenheimer?"
Yes.
Like,
yeah, right.
I mean,
and it feels crazy too, right? Because you're like, there's like trailers, there's commercials for this shit, right? And they're like, Yeah, and then if you're like, oh, it's a new Nolan flick, and they're like, who's Nolan? And then you're just like,
exactly.
wow.
It's super weird because when I got into this Schmodown, I didn't consider myself a movie guy, and I never did because like I would always compare myself to like these Schmodown players in the fan community who like know way more about movies than I do.
Right.
But like in actual real life, like I am the movie guy. Like
Yeah,
everyone goes, "Oh, Nat's the movie guy,"
right.
and it's like it's so weird to me because I'll see like a TikTok. I mentioned this in the past stream. But like I'll see a TikTok and they have to like name 3 celebrities that pop up on their thing, and it's shocking how little these people know. Like that's clearly Timothy Chalamet. Like, come on,
right?
Like, I don't know who that is. Like it's so strange talking to like a normal person who is not dialed in.
I get reminded all the time because it's like, as a therapist, when I'm talking with people of any and all ages, it's like I'll talk with people who are older than me, and I'll be like, "Yeah, it's this movie from this director. This actor. They were in." And I'm like, "You're older." You would remember, Tom Cruise from Top Gun. Of course, Tom Cruise they'll know. But like, like a Tom Hardy or something like that. They're like, what's he been in? And I'm like, he's been in Bronson. I'm like, you probably haven't watched that one. He was Bane in Dark Knight Rises. And they're like, yeah, I don't watch the Batman movies. And I'm like, fuck. And then you're like, how do you get this person that Tom Hardy in? And it's there that you're like, I'm hitting like 9 boxes. And it's like, those don't make sense to you. And same thing with the younger crowd, the 20-somethings I talk to. I'll be like, yeah, Keanu Reeves, right? And they're like, and I'm like, John Wick, and they're like, and I'm like, The Matrix, and they're like, it's not that really old movie, and I'm like, you bitch. And they're like, I was 1 when that came out. I don't know. And I'm like,
shut up.
Say less. Yeah, exactly. Right. So.
Well, I was fucking 16 when
I sit there and I was just like, you were
6
7.
when it came out.
6 or 7? Yeah, I was about to say.
6.
I
was 93 and it came out in 99, right? So
99 was when it
came out in 99.
Yes. I was 9. Yeah, but dude, at 9, that movie looked like fucking gas, and it was, and it still is.
Yeah. Well, and it's still like that movie is that's one of the things I like. A good conversation to have, like with anybody, it's like movies that came out years back that like both technology wise and like story wise,
right, that
hold up. The first Matrix actually does pretty well.
Solid, right? The key scenes, right? The slow-mo tech that like defined our like movie making for like the next 8 years, like definitely is the roughest part. But every other thing, the costume, the aesthetic, the booming, the like sexy German leather, like all of that honestly still plays in like a very like I fuck with this vibe. Like,
but if you watch Reloaded, which like was where the slow-mo goes out of control,
and then the ghost
first one does, but the two that, well, I guess even the fourth one I watched once and never had the urge to
didn't watch all the way through it because it just was getting that bad. I was like, oh fuck, like this is
I think it might have been my biggest disappointment that year. Like it was
easily easily the biggest disappointment that year. Like you had Keanu Reeves coming off of John Wick and you can't make him do good action in that film. Jesus, guys, come on.
So like the big one, like in terms of like technology and stuff for me, and it's the first R-rated movie I ever saw in theaters was Terminator 2.
Yeah,
and there are
T2 is such a good one to pick too.
There's certain scenes in that, like technology wise, that if you watch now, it's like okay, if you're really nitpicking.
The UI, like over the like from the Android Vision brain, the Terminator shots, like those ones are
But you watch some of that other stuff, and it's better than half the shit coming out today.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, the whole time you're seeing like the liquid metal parts and stuff like that. That stuff still rocks today. Like it's
insane that this movie came out as long ago as it did.
Yes, I think the like T2 and I mean the obvious other pick in my opinion is like Jurassic Park. Like
that might be the greatest, most influential movie for me in terms of special effects of all time.
So like. Still so insanely good looking, like, and I'm hella biased, mind you. I'm so incredibly biased, but even as like just a regular fangoer, every time I watch that movie, I'm just like, man, the choice for live animatronics puts this so fucking over in every single little shot that is like the animatronic. Very rarely did you get like a little bit of CG on it, and that's like the little tiny times you notice, like the T-Rex snapping a raptor. And stuff like that, but a raptor going through the kitchen, terrifying. T-Rex fucking hits, like, oh, that movie's so fucking gas, bro. Perfect movie, 10 out of 10.
You could show that to like a 10-year-old today. And they'll have the same reaction we did when we saw it as kids, when we were younger.
Yeah.
And that's a really fantastic thing. Like a lot of movies, like even like Star Wars, which is, you know, probably the most seminal movie I've ever seen in terms of like growing me as a movie. Jurassic Park to a kid these days is still going to slap as hard as when we saw it in 93.
It's going to be one of those movies where it's like, yeah, I watched a lot of recent stuff as a kid, but my dad really insisted I watch this old shit. And it was Jurassic Park, and it was great. And it's still, yeah.
Who's ever going to say anything? Like, what kid is going to watch that? Like, every kid, if you have
the dinosaurs, what's not the
exactly?
love?
You have your dinosaur phase. You always have your dinosaur phase. And that movie just took even if you're past your dinosaur phase, it put you back into it. Like,
my favorite story to tell is there was this one time I was driving with Hannah, and I was telling her, like, whenever I was a little bit younger, that I was like, I remember like watching Jurassic Park and then hanging out with a buddy of mine, and he would get in a tote and he would hold the tote lid above it, and I would pretend it was a T-Rex trying to like break in, because it's just like that iconic. You had to play it out, and you hunt each other as velociraptors. And she was like, cool. She was like, well, how old were you then? And I was like, I don't know, like 22, 23. Like, movie left an impression. You know, I've been in my dinosaur phase for 40 years. Exactly right. I'm still in my dinosaur phase. I've watched every single Jurassic film from the franchise. And it doesn't get better from Jurassic Park. Obviously, it won't ever. But because I'm still so much in my dinosaur phase, and I refuse to go, maybe it'll be a cool one. Who knows? You know? Jurassic Park 3.
They keep trying.
Terrified of this next one. Like, I did not like the last two whatsoever.
No,
like
the rest were terrible.
Bad.
It's so bad.
Films. And here's the sad thing, though. In Fallen Kingdom, they had a cool idea to explore. The idea that they cloned the daughter. And I was like, now we're fucking talking. We're talking about cloning people. That's true. Why aren't we talking about that more? And then they're like, not worth it. Don't worry about it. Like,
yeah. And the thing is, like, you know, prior to those two, like, I would assume most people viewed 3 as the weak link.
Yeah.
And 3 looks like a fucking masterpiece compared to those two.
Just compared to the last two, 3 at least has meme value, right? Like, it goes back to the idea, if it can't be bad, be memorable, or if it can't be good, be memorably bad. And like Alan is like something that lives right
Alan.
that fucking raptor on the airplane. Yeah. If you can't be good, be terrible.
Right, exactly. And that's how I feel about, like, why was Argyle the most memorable movie I've seen this year? Because it was fucking terrible, but
it was so bad. How was it that bad? This is in the Kingsman universe, and I love Kingsman. And for this movie to be that bad is just.
But I think Argyle embraced it and just dove headfirst into it. I'm like, it's a terrible movie, but I kind of enjoyed every minute of it.
How did you guys get around to watching The Kingsman?
Yes, I did not like it at all.
Yeah,
it was whatever. It was. Just
it seemed forgettable on the trailer, and I'm thinking it's not even worth watching.
It was definitely the worst of the Kingsman until Argyle came out. But even Argyle was like fun bad, whereas The Kingsman is just like bad.
The Kingsman is just forgettable bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jean's staring in the background. Oh, no, and she's laying back down. What a good girl. She's the best. Okay. One last question for the show. Mike. Marry, fuck, kill.
Oh, God.
PLD. Jake.
I'm trying to think of a third person.
The juice.
Well, the kill is easy. That's Jake.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
All right. All right, that's our show, guys. We just wrapped up. We just got that clip. Now we do need that clip for later. We're going to add it to the inventory. Anytime we have guests on, we need them to shit talk Jake, and we just have a clip ready of it.
Jake, I'd kill you.
Yeah.
But all right, everyone, that's our show.
Yeah.
We will see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, Mike, where can they catch you at?
Oh, you can find me on What Show on every Wednesday. We've got March Madness coming up,
Mhm.
which is our brackets month. We have the heroes, chaotic neutrals, and villains brackets filling up the entire month. We're gonna have some fun with that. Tomorrow night, we're just doing a free form, just have fun.
Yeah.
You guys the link.
Send us the link. We'll see what we can do. I might be hell diving, but we'll see what we can do. So, Helldivers came out, and it's hard not. It's like I'm trying to get my games in as much as possible before Rebirth comes out on Friday. But
I don't get shit going on, so I'm down for whatever.
send me the link still. Send us the link because me and Nat are the same person. He just goes to the
Same
same
person.
Because your show is our show, and
That's
our
true.
show is your show.
That's right.
It's true. It's true. Somebody Seinfeld once said, "Let's make a show about nothing," and we said, "All right, but we want to do that, but good." And then we did our shows. So
We're just the same fucking show on this
yeah, we are. Same show, different hosts. It's no different with it. So, which is why Harold's committed to both. And at one point, he was actually commenting in your guys' chat while commenting in our chat while I was bringing it up in our chat. There was a William Harold Inception comment that reached across many multiverses for a little bit.
William Harold is the best of everybody. So yeah. Cheers to William.
Cheers to Harold. Now we'll see him at the movie theaters here soon. And cheers to all of you guys
All the time.
viewing and tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you next Tuesday.